And welcome back to the channel. If you guys have been subscribed for a while, well, you already know what car we are going to be working on today, or at least starting to work on. It's about 4 o'clock, 4:30 in the evening, afternoon, whatever you want to call it. Kind of getting a late start to the day, but we've been cleaning up, getting, spindles out. Posted a picture. Let me know if you guys want custom spindles. Cleaned out the LS a little bit, got some wheels out, some parts out, just stuff that, kind of cleaning up the garage. And I had a whole bunch of stuff underneath here, cleaned, swept, blowed everything out. So now it's finally time to go over the LS. Before we start, figured I would kind of go over where we left off, what we have to do, and what the plan is, because it is February 13th and about 22 days from now, we are going to Texas. Houston, Texas. ASM is throwing a giant show there, and the boys are going to be there, and I told everyone that the LS would be there, so I guess it's time to stop slacking. Obviously, we've got to do the tubs, we've got to redo the floor, and for those who are wondering why my floor is cut out, well, I had a raised floor, basically a raised frame and floor, that I caught a giant manhole cover on that side, and that's what this basically bullet hole is from. So cut everything out, and we are going to redo it one step at a time, I guess, but redoing the floor, cutting the tub so that we can fit the wheels up higher, and then also planning on cutting out the front and making a tube front. So we're gonna make sure that all of this is structurally sound, as well as getting rid of basically any of this metal that might get in the way of the wheel and tire coming up, basically rested against the hood. So I think that's about it for the plans. We're trying to tuck lug nuts, or as close as possible. I'm gonna start cleaning the LS out a little bit more. Maybe we'll get to cutting, get some tools out and stuff today, but before the sun goes completely down, I at least wanted to show you guys what the plans are, talk about the LS a little bit, and well, get it started. So I'm about to hop in. Enough of my rambling, let's get today on the roll. And we are back. So it is actually a couple days later. My dad ended up bringing up the boat, and it took all of this space. There was no space to work on the LS, and I had to do a couple things to the other cars. But it is bright and early, so today we are going to get started. Oh, as I said before, I'm basically going to be prepping for the new floor. I cut out all of the structure pieces that we tied into the frame. We had one piece right there to right there boxed in. Same on the other side. We have one giant piece that goes from here all the way over. That side is the side that got caught, so I will have to cut that out more. And then we did have a piece that went there to there, tying into the structure over by the transmission, and then one giant piece that ran all the way to the back. So I cut all of that out. I will flapper disc when I get home, but I just wanted to make sure that, oh yeah, I had enough sunlight and stuff to go get the metal, come back here, figure out what I'm gonna do, and then I'll clean up all the mating surface before we start to get to the welding. But the whole goal of this is to have the entire floor flat. Looking underneath, there's nothing that hangs down, nothing that can get caught. Of course, there will be, some stuff in the way, like transpan, raising it as high as I can, but without cutting out this entire section, moving everything up even farther, and then, I just don't want to do that with this. I want to make sure I can drive it low as can be. If something really happens, oh well, we'll deal with it then, but things in the front of the engine and car should catch before I even have to worry about the transmission. So the structuring pieces are hopefully gonna be going all across. We'll get those in first, and then we'll figure out by putting the sheet metal on the bottom, like I said, to make everything flat so we can actually see the structuring up here and nothing hangs low to get caught. I don't know, let's see if you guys can visualize it, but we're gonna have a bar here, and then a bar all the way. Well, that leaves squares open. I don't know if I'm gonna put an entire sheet underneath, tie it in and weld it up, or if I'm going to cut out squares, maybe put some angle iron, and then put the sheets inside of that. We'll have to play it by ear and figure out what is the smartest move. But I'm off to the metal shop here in just a minute. I'll go over all of the dimensions as well as the thicknesses of all the metal, and we will come back here, hopefully meet Danny and West, and start getting to work. So let's get it. And we made it back to the house. I ended up getting just the stuff for the structuring today. I got over some options with any of the sheet metal. I didn't know if I was gonna do the entire bottom of the car in one piece, or if I was gonna make these structure pieces and then drop in squares and weld them in the holes. So the whole plan is gonna do this first, hopefully tonight, maybe into tomorrow, finish this up, and then we will be able to figure out what we're gonna do with the sheet metal. West and Danny just pulled up. We got some grub and we're ready to get to it. Sun is going down, so I'll probably end up bringing the spotlight out. I do plan on working kind of late on this, at least figuring out and probably tacking up all of the floor stuff. I measured it out and got 2 5-foot 16 gauge 1x2s and then 2 5.5 foot. The 5.5 foot are to go basically from the firewall all the way back to the back seats, and then the 2 5-foot pieces are to go from back door to back door, and then B pillar to B pillar through the transmission tunnel. So that is the plan. I got to clean up some more of the seal and other things. I'm going to use a wire wheel on the drill, clean up some of the surface, and then I also have a flapper disc that I'll get some of this paint off of, as well as you can see some of these little edges and bevels just to clean stuff up. So even if we don't get the entire floor welded in tonight, I plan on having it tacked up and figuring out, making sure everything's level, making sure everything works side to side, so that we can figure out what we're gonna do with the floor. And then we'll get into cutting the other tubs. I just figured it'd be better to get structure side to side on the car before we start cutting more and more apart and the car starts, you know, getting wavy.
Logan. Logan always making mistakes, man.
Yeah, so I asked Wes to hand me the Sawzall, and I said, he's like, damn, I love Sawzalls. And I was like, yeah, me too, but I always fuck something up. And then I'm cutting, and something starts leaking, and it's brake fluid. So I cut through one of my brake lines, but oh well, maybe it was meant to be, because it'll make me do them better, you know,
Running through the car, yeah.
Yeah.
Logan, but
yeah.
we got this.
Currently cutting the back bar across. I think I showed them earlier, but I had an entire piece that went from side to side. Just another structure piece. And I'm gonna cut it out because this side kind of got yanked and pulled. So the bar is all messed up and there's no like even spots to weld anything to. So I'm gonna just cut it all out, redo a complete bar across, and then that bar will start the structure piece from here to the firewall. So. Well, it looks like a tornado whirled through, and it looks like we should be done with the car by now, but we just cut the final bar out. I know it seemed like it's been all day, but the prep work is what takes the longest, and when we did the floor, we did it right, and everything was fabbed, everything was welded through, and so it's just been a pain cutting everything apart, which sucks right now, but in hindsight, if you look at it, if you know you did it right, when you start to tear everything apart and go to redo it, it's gonna be a pain because you did it right the first time. But the structure piece that goes all the way across is finally cut out. You can see some of this. This was the driver's side, and so it was, you know, completely straight. This was the passenger side, and you can see it was dented through because it was sitting like this. And when the main piece was coming all the way across, the side piece right here is what got yanked up by the sewer, and that kind of pulled it. But you can see that all of the welds are still intact, everything is still tight, and that's what you want. You don't want things to rip apart, you want things to then...
It took like 30 minutes with a Sawzall to get these off.
It was a pain, and I mean, last time I think we checked in, it was like super bright out.
Yeah.
And but yeah, so I think I'm just gonna kind of mock up some of the other bars. I'll probably set up the welder because I know Wes said he was down to throw some welds, and I'll show him a couple things, and then yeah, definitely gonna be another day project. I do work Tuesday and Wednesday. It's Monday, so maybe Thursday or tomorrow night or something, I'll figure out doing the rest of this and get the vlog out this week. And welcome back. I believe it is day 3. The last thing that we ended off on was prepping the LS400. So that was with Danny. It got dark, and it really doesn't make sense to do it in the dark. I couldn't see anything. Although I'd have some floodlights, I'd just rather not. So we started off today. I've been prepping and cutting some metals out, getting ready for it. Actually, we have the welder out already, but you can kind of see some of the progress we got. So this is the main cross member bar. This I actually did tack up to the, correction, that's the cross member bar. This is going to be front to back frame bar. So I leveled the bar that goes from side to side. I tacked it up, put a little bead over there, and then tacked it up on this side. Yes, everything is level. I know that there's some holes and stuff here, but that was from way long ago when I used a plasma cutter and was cutting everything out. Didn't know what I was doing. But I'm actually not gonna tack this on because there is a bunch of open space. That's what I am cutting that piece of 16 gauge sheet metal for. And I'm gonna do like I did last time, put basically a piece of sheet metal, go all the way across, tie it into not only this cross member frame bar piece, but the piece of the car, and then this metal beam, I guess you can say, is what I'm gonna use for tying it in. So there's gonna be a big giant piece of plate here on both sides. This piece is gonna be welded to that, but that piece is gonna be welded to everything. Bit complicated, but I'll show you after I'm done with it, and then repeat the process over here. I'm thinking that I am still gonna do like last time, where I'm gonna have a piece to here, piece to here. I don't know if I'm gonna go from the inside all the way through the trans tunnel and then attach right here. The only reason I might not do that is because if I have to take off the drive shaft or anything, which I don't plan on doing, but cross our fingers, I would have to cut it out and redo that member. If I did it from here to here, then I would not. I could probably just plate it and then weld the piece to it. So it just depends on how level this is to here. If I have a decent amount of room to do it up top, I might just do that. If it sinks down below, because the level of this bar is lower, then I will probably do it all across. So I just figured I would give you guys an update before the sun went down. I kind of been doing a little bit of everything today. Yesterday we got the GS300 done. Today actually we got the steering column done and fixed for Tyler's car, so I know he's hyped with that. And it's LS time, so hopefully I can get most of the crossbars and structure done today. And then tomorrow we will worry about doing all of the floor, basically plating everything in, making sure that nothing can get inside the car. And then this weekend, because it is Thursday, February 23rd, we'll focus on the rear strut towers and getting the coilover set up. So this vlog will probably just contain the floors and stuff. Depending on how far I get today, I might just put it out for you guys tomorrow. And then, you know, just get more LS vlogs out instead of making you wait and having everything in one vlog. So we're gonna get to it, hopefully beat the sun, and get some progress done. It was time for an update. It's about 11 p.m. so I've been working on this thing for about 13 hours today. Also been working on other cars, helped Tyler with his car, finished a homie's Freddie, his GS300 as I showed you earlier, finished his coilovers, dialed in the height, and then slowly but surely just been taking my time, jamming out, and getting the LS, you know, I want to say progress, step by step, done. It's nowhere near done, but figured it would be update time. The only reason I am not going all night to finish all of the structure is I was welding the back of the support plate on the passenger side to weld the main frame piece to, and I ran out of wire. So I was super pissed. I have basically a full tank, super hyped on that, ran out of wire, not happy. So it's gonna be an end for tonight, but I will show you real quick the progress we made. So like I said earlier, the whole beam is in. I do have to do something with the like mating surface, and my light just died. Let me grab another one, I'll show you guys real quick. All right, we got the headlight out for you, but like I was saying, that is not going to be completed tonight. I don't know how I'm gonna do that yet. I might slice off, or I might actually take a slice here, like parallel, forward and backwards, and then same on the other side, and then this bottom piece of metal that goes, you know, that runs sideways, I'm thinking about just bringing that up, welding it to this as well, on top of welding it kind of to the firewall area, I guess you could say. Back here, everything is welded up. There's a couple goobers up there, but we're not gonna talk about that. Totally had it way too hot, and I started blowing a couple holes in it. But, you know, we got that all set up and figured out though, so we are cranking out. And then this side, I just finished the front part of it. It's pretty much welded all the way through. And on the back side, where I weld the cross member support that goes from side to side, that is halfway welded on the back side, and that's where I lost feed. So tomorrow, I'm gonna finish up after I get feed, or wire. I'm gonna start welding the rest of that all in, all the way around, cut off the excess, because I do have some excess down here that I can cut off, and then I will make the main frame piece as well as the side-to-side pieces. I got a lot to clean up. The garage needs cleaning up and stuff as well. I got wheels everywhere, chairs everywhere, tools everywhere, and I've been taking on a lot of different projects lately. So I do apologize on the LS updates, but with that being said, I'm gonna put this video out tomorrow for you guys. I'm gonna chop it up real quick and figured I would give you guys an update on the LS. So we didn't finish the structure. I will film the rest of the progress on this, so don't worry about that. But tomorrow the plan is finish the complete structure, figure out what I'm gonna do for all of these steel plating, and with it being Friday tomorrow, I have to get sheet metal. I don't know if they're open on the weekends, but that is the plan. Finish the structure, get sheet metal, figure out how I'm gonna box everything in. We'll worry about seat mounts and all that later. And then I did cut through my brake line, all the brake lines that I ran through the car and then behind the back seat. It was an accident. I said, you know, I messed things up with the Sawzall. Then I took the Sawzall out and then I cut a brake line. So we'll see if we can patch that tomorrow. If so, then well, I'd say we could drive it, but I just forgot that I cut an entire strut tower out. So I'm rambling on. Hope you guys are enjoying the progress. We're gonna see what tomorrow brings for us. Maybe I'll make something up so we can drive it. But wire, structure, floor, and then I guess the hardest part is gonna be the rear strut towers, in my opinion. But yeah, we got about a week and a half to do it. I'm gonna pump out these LS vlogs for you guys. Hope you enjoy it. If you're hyped for this, if you're hyped for the following videos, I know a lot of this has been at night, throw a thumbs up. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Comment down below, let me know you guys are staying to the end, and you're gonna get a lot of LS content here soon. So about a week and a half, she'll be on the floor and she'll be driving. Catch you guys.